Geesin.
Welcome to Barely Stable, an intermediate level podcast. A cool disc golf podcast for intermediate players. This is the Barely Stable Podcast.
Live from beautiful Austin, Texas, it's the Barely Stable Podcast. Here are your Barely Stable hosts, Daniel Freeberg and Nick Barr.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Barely Stable. I'm your host, Nick Barr. With me, as always, Daniel Freeberg.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's episode 3. Moving right along.
Number 3. We got a special guest coming in later today.
Goose.
But first, as always, back in the booth, we have Mr. Daniel Rigdon. What's up, Daniel? How we doing, dude?
Hello, I'm feeling good today.
How are button pressing going? You feel confident? You feel ready?
Yes.
Man, oozing with confidence. He looks like a guy stepping up to the tee box with 15 people ready to watch him throw off for the first time. I'm going to hit the line.
First available.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with me as well. We got a great show for you guys today. We have in as a guest Jacob Geesin, otherwise known here as Central Texas as Goose.
Goose.
The man behind the infamous double Goose stamp on so many discs like this glitch. He'll be in the studio here with us in just a few minutes. We thought before he came in, though, we'd talk about one of the tournaments he just ran. It was a really cool one. It's the first of his Texas Amateur Series, which will be all across Texas, not just Central Texas. He's got it all over the place. I don't even know how far it goes. We'll ask him when he comes in, but you guys played in a doubles match. Where was that at?
We're down at Armadillo.
Oh, at the Flying Armadillo. That's right.
Flying Armadillo. Me and Rigdon, D's Taters, representing Team Tato.
Team Tater teamed up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We played good. Rigdon,
Yeah, you guys played great. I think I checked in on you guys from the road, and after round 1, you guys were in the lead.
Yeah. Start out hot. We finished pretty hot. We hit our goal. No bogeys.
That's what's up.
So,
That's a great round.
18 down after 2 rounds.
That's good out there. The Dello, yeah, man.
Yeah. We had a couple. Rigdon had a couple holes that were all him. I would say my highlight was we missed the island on 18 twice.
You guys never bogeyed, though.
No.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys made both?
I hit it both times.
Let's go.
Oh, Freeberg.
It's like 50-foot putt
From the line of
headwind.
shame. Yeah.
With a
That's huge.
raised basket.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's highlight. That's shot of the round.
Yeah. The first time I was like, maybe it'll go in. And the second time I was like, I'm just going to do the same shit. And it worked. So
That's rad.
yeah.
Well, good job, guys. How was that tournament? Was it fun?
It was a lot of fun. They had, the Dillo has a little food trailer out there. So we had some, they had like tacos and pizza.
It was 2 rounds, 1 day, right?
Correct.
Yes.
That's sick. That's always fun.
Yeah. And then we messed around at the little mini in between.
If you haven't been,
best thing in disc golf.
it's almost like Mecca. If you're about having fun playing disc golf, if what you enjoy is having fun, there's not more fun you can have, in my opinion, than taking 2 or 3 discs and walking through that mini course.
That little mini was so fun.
It's so fun. The new one with the tunnel and the big, what do you call it, like
big
grain
hopper.
catcher?
Silo
The
or
hopper.
whatever.
Silo, yeah.
Oh, so fun.
Going to the top. There's
Yeah.
nothing. It's just nothing. Because you love to hear the chains, right?
Yeah.
You love to hear the chains rattle. It's like chains. Like it's like long chains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or
It's
long
also
chains
like,
that-
it's so alluring. Like you want to throw it up in that little hole
Yeah.
up top. Sorry, just got to make sure Goose, he's supposed to be coming. We got to make sure we buzz him into the security downstairs in the studio.
Yeah.
Fancy.
People don't know where we film at. It's
It's pretty tight.
tight security.
Yeah. Lola runs a tight ship out here.
Shout out to all the dog lovers out there who don't mind seeing Lola here. And looks like Jacob's here. We'll be back right now after a word from our sponsor. We'll go get Goose. Welcome back to the Barely Stable Podcast. We're here with Jacob Geesin, otherwise known here in the local Texas Central disc golf community as Goose. You might hear us screamed across the land. Goose, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for coming in, dude. So you're running the Texas AM Series this year. You got a lot going on. I feel like you're running maybe 400 events.
As a tradition.
It seems like it. But how did
day?
when did the disc golf thing start? Like, how did you get into disc golf?
So I played disc golf for the first time with one of my college friends in like 2015. And to this day, I regret not sticking with it when I first played it, which is, I think, the same story as so many people.
Yeah.
I picked it back up in late 2019 with my friend Mitch Burr when he took me out to Seattle, and I got to play a couple courses. I was using an Eagle as a putter, and I had a great time.
Yeah.
So I came back. I was living in Austin, and I was like, you know what? I want to start playing disc golf. And this crazy thing happened like 6 months later. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was COVID-19. The pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So
The end of the world.
and the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of free time, like a lot of people did. I was still gainfully employed, luckily. And my friend Preston and I just started playing twice a day, and I was just lying to my boss all the time where I was at. So from March until I'd say November, we probably put in like 250 rounds of disc golf.
Jeez.
Wow.
And that's when he was like, "Hey, let's sign up for the PDGA. Let's play a tournament. Let's have some fun."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So signed up for the PDGA, and I went and played my first mini, which happened to be a Weekday Warriors mini run by local Trevor Byers. And I won. And I won like $50. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to play disc golf forever.
Yeah.
This is where it's at.
Now, real quick, what's your day job?
My day job, I'm a geologist. I do environmental consulting for a firm. So it's a pretty high stress gig. I work like 40 to 60 hours a week while managing all of Goose promotions. So all those Excel spreadsheets came from somewhere.
My man. My girlfriend, Nikki, or my fiance now, I guess, she loves it. Goose is a geologist. Every time I talk about it, she's like, the geologist, right? I'm like, yes, Goose, the geologist. She's
It
like,
rocks, let me tell you.
Geology humor. That's good.
That's what we're trained for.
Yeah, that's really good. So when you started playing tournaments, what made you take the jump to start running tournaments? You are setting a standard, it feels like, in the area for a lot of things. Was that sort of the kind of the goal when you got going, that you kind of wanted to run that level of event? It seems like that's what you always talk about.
So when it first started, it actually started as an off-season showcase. So there was this weekend where there were just no events in Austin. At the time, the only person running tournaments, this was in 2021. So this is a year after I started playing. Probably played like 30 to 40 PDGA events that first year.
oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Every single weekend that had a tournament, I signed up for it. And
That's
that was
awesome.
when, if you guys remember, that's when everybody would fill, like the registration would fill immediately.
Yeah.
You had to be like online when it came live.
Oh, yeah. I would be like on a date. And I'd be like, excuse me for a minute. I need to sign up for a disc golf tournament.
Go to the bathroom. I just need my phone.
Well, I wouldn't even go to the bathroom. I just do it in front of them. No shame.
1 second.
It's just like, I'm like, this is important. This is more important than meeting you right now. I'm sorry. But so I got with one of my friends and we were just chatting. We were like, hey, let's start running tournaments and let's do some things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And it was like, let's do minis as the first start. And that's where how teamwork was created.
Yeah.
So it started with a guy named Benji and me, and then we brought in Jace, which is actually how I met Jace Whitehead, who you guys are very familiar with.
Yeah.
And then Trevor Williamson, who you guys also remember, and then Preston. So we started with
Shout
the
out the whole
off-season.
Goose team.
Yeah, that was the original teamwork team, which some of these people are still in Goose formations.
If you will.
Oh.
Yeah,
The OG Geese.
the OG Geese,
Copyright Daniel Freeberg.
the
That
flock.
t-shirt made. Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh yeah. So we started the teamwork stuff, and after I think our 6th event was that huge mini. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was at Marymore Seawright with the $1,000 ace pot. We had 194 players, including
Big one. Yeah.
yeah, James Conrad, Nate Perkins. They were all there. That was our 6th event.
That's rad.
Yeah,
That's absurd.
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah.
And some of the goals of teamwork are some of the goals that we have at Goose Promotions. Increase transparency to the players, let you know where your money's going, let you know what we're doing for the community and all of those things. And that lasted for like 6 months. And, there were some internal disputes and which led to us all breaking up. And that led to basically me and Jace going off on our own.
Yeah.
So then Jace and I ran like maybe 3 or 4 tournaments as Jacob and Jace. Until in November, we were like, okay, I gotta make an LLC. I gotta make this a legit business before someone in the tax world gets upset with me.
Yeah.
Right.
So then Goose Promotions was created, and we've gotten to where we are now. So NADGT has been a big player along the way.
Yeah.
NADGT is one of those organizations that actually pays their TDs. So whenever we first heard, hey, here's some money to run events, and you don't have to pay for the sanctioning. You don't have to pay for the course reservations. You don't have to pay for the porta potties. We'll cover all that. If we don't get our money back, they deal with it. So I don't have to take those losses.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That was a great deal.
How do you think NAGDT can support that kind of business model?
I think
volume?
I think it's the volume of
Yeah.
events that they have, and it's the sheer volume. There's, one thing. You guys are free to ask me about how much money I made from disc golf last year.
Oh, if it means anything, I hope there's no misconception that tournament directors don't get rich doing this. This is very much
That's very much a hobby and a time
it's for the
donation.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the love of the community and the sport, right?
Yeah.
And we just wanted to later on, and I guess we can kind of cross that bridge now. If
yeah.
we just wanted to how do TDs make money?
Yeah, what's the model,
yeah.
if you will?
Yeah.
It's not a very TD supportive model. Let me tell you
It doesn't
guys.
seem like it. Yeah.
So, have you guys read the recent edition of the PDGA Tour Standards?
For different tiers?
Just at all. Just the paper. It's 9 pages.
I don't think I've gone through the whole thing. No.
Nope. I don't think any other player has.
Yeah.
And I think it's really only important to TDs. Here's a question for you guys. How much money can a TD keep in pass-through fees for every event? You guys know?
10%?
I was gonna say 15.
It is the whatever number that the PDGA fee collects. So for a C tier, it's $2. B tier is $3. It's that same amount.
So you make what the PDGA makes?
Yep. Exactly.
Per person?
Per person.
Yeah.
So I'm only allowed to keep $2 per player as a TD fee for a C tier, $3 for a B tier, etc.
Through registration.
Even a
fees.
huge event,
Yeah.
you're sub $500.
Yep. And so that's the initial right there. And then there's these things called pass-through fees, and the PDGA in the same tour standards limits what the pass-through fees are. And those pass-through fees are course and permit fees, so anything associated with like reserving the course, so that can be your greens fees, that can be fees associated with getting a permit. And a common misconception is having a permit isn't the same thing as reserving the course.
Right. Yeah.
I can't reserve a public course and shut it down for the day.
Right.
People pay taxes on that. They'll get very upset. They'll cuss you out in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to be able to play.
Yeah.
If your group of 12 friends wants to play while there's a shotgun start, 18 holes going on, they can.
They actually can, yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
And you can't say anything about it.
Yeah.
So
Brutal.
I mean, it's probably not the best experience for the group of 12 trying to fight through a completely full course.
or all the people that paid $50 to $100 to play the tournament. It doesn't work for anybody, and it upsets me as a tournament director trying to shut those down.
Do you find it a difficult thing in Austin that so many of our courses are public like that we don't have a lot of private courses to run events on?
Yeah, it's unfortunate the way that it goes. I was actually the most permitted person in the city of Austin last year in general. Whoa. And yeah, I was number one. I got those stats. Then it's just kind of inconvenient. I think private courses are the future because a lot of times with the public courses, they may not do maintenance.
Yeah, I would hope that Sprinkle Valley is the first of maybe 3 or 4 pay-to-play courses in the area in the next 5 years. There's certainly enough players to support it, and if they're at the level of Sprinkle Valley or even close, people will pay to play there. If it's $2 or $5 or even $10 at Sprinkle Valley, people are still going to pay that every time or buy the subscription or whatever you call it, like a membership, so you can just go play whenever.
Absolutely.
Just want to welcome Lola to the podcast real quick. Just wanted to poke her head in, make sure everyone realizes she gets the attention when needed.
Our head of security.
Yes, just making sure she's cool.
She checked Jacob out. She just...
So the other cool thing I thought you do that I wish more tournament directors did is every time you sign something up on Disc Golf Scene, there's a breakdown line by line of if the sign up fee is, let's say, $25, which is a pretty common sign up fee for like one of your like minis, if you would call it. Is that what you're still using? As
Flex Start.
Flex Start, like a good Flex Start. It could be as low as $25, but you'll still line item out where all $25 go. If you do a huge 2 or 3 day tournament, you'll still line item out where all $100 goes. Why do you think more tournament directors don't do that?
Really to hide the pass-through fees, I think. Because like, as we were talking about, like really the only way for tournament directors to make money is to take advantage of the amateurs.
Right.
So it's the money that comes in player packs and the money that goes to payout. Because for me to do my own payout and for me to do player packs, I effectively have to have a 50% increase on everything or make 200% off the wholesale price.
Well, it's like normal retail markup, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as an independent tournament director, I can't buy stock stamp discs from any manufacturer except for manufacturers that I happen to know the owners of.
So you can't sign up.
Sorry.
Dude.
My bad.
What's going on?
I tried a sound effect. I'll never do it again. My bad.
No, it's okay. Do it.
Can we hear it?
Bruh.
So worth it.
Okay, that's fine.
Good
That was
stuff.
fun. That was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
That was fun.
So you do way better on amateurs. Like the
Well, just meaning like you can't really make money on pros, right? Because that pro goes to payout.
Oh,
like cash
absolutely
payout.
not. No.
Yeah.
So all the pro money that comes in goes straight back to the pros. And also, one thing that pros like to get upset about is those fee breakdowns. And then especially they get upset about it during like B tiers. But then it's like, hey, I'm a pro player. Why am I paying these pass-through fees? Why am I having to pay for the course? I'm a professional. I should get higher compensated. I'm like, hey,
Local
remember?
pro saying that?
Oh, there's been a couple.
Or like Jimmy Conrad? Like who's saying this?
These
like
are
Brad
your,
Williams
these are your
saying that?
local pros that are like 960 rated. Local pros.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, what about that 750 added cash that came out of my savings account?
yeah.
Where does that all that added cash come from? Is
My
that from
savings account.
rollover? But really, is that from rollover from other tournaments? Because we see it all the time on yours that there's added cash. This one,
It's mostly from my savings account or sponsorships.
that's
So-
awesome.
Yeah, so
That we had an episode last time where we talked about like what division should we play in. That's because a lot of times we argued that to
Should we
play-
get Goose's opinion on what division we should all play in?
yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
This is great.
Pull up
Yeah,
your rating.
that's actually really good.
Can we do that? Can we pull up each person's? All right.
How we don't really need more plastic. So we were thinking about going into MPO, but if it doesn't support the TDs that we want to continue to put on tournaments as much, maybe we should be playing an amateur.
Well, yeah, and like we're not going to compete in
Yeah,
these
like,
pro divisions right now. Like, there's no real.
Yeah.
I like maybe we have a hot round. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
but we're not necessarily going to like just consistently be anywhere in the mix in an MPO or MP40 whatever.
I hung at Live Oak once.
That's cool.
Well, that comes down to the question to you guys. Question one is, do you want anything for playing the tournament? Like a player pack? Like, do you want something, some form of something to come back to you?
That's interesting. I guess in my mind, I go, I don't necessarily want discs, but I do love like your Texas Am Series disc you brought.
Dope.
I
Sweet.
almost always want a event disc. And even if I don't throw it, I'll throw it up on the shelf or keep it on and I'll keep it around. Or like, let's say I have a cool thing that happens or like did well, I'll write on the back what happened. And that'll be like my memory from the round. I do like that a lot. I think sometimes though, like when it's like 4 discs that like I probably wouldn't throw and they're all kind of base stamps, I don't necessarily need that big of a player pack. But like also on the other side of that, NADGT had like a huge players pack and it was a big fee and you got to get a backpack and then you went through like 5 tables and just pulled the disc off it. I won't lie, that was awesome. That's very cool. So I don't know. I'm on both sides.
One of the things I liked about your tournament specifically is I signed me and this guy, Barely Stable Bros. Going to be playing at Moody's
The doubles.
on the 3rd.
Let's go.
do it.
Doubles,
Yeah.
MA2. But what I liked is when you're signing up, you can pick like, okay, you can get a players pack. Do you want?
Oh, you can say players pack or not?
I've got like 5 options now.
But he's got-
That
Yeah,
is
that's
the
very
best.
cool.
Oh my gosh.
But you
just cracked the game.
Oh, yeah.
You just cracked
Yeah.
the game.
You got
That's
a
it.
tournament stamp disc. Is what I signed you up
Thanks,
for.
my buddy.
So yeah, that's
Dude, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like sometimes like being a chubby guy, sometimes I'm like, ooh, Daniel needs his snacks. But you know, and yeah, that was an option as well. I knew that I'd be playing with Nick. Nick always got snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always got
And I think we're going to have a guy out there slinging some food too. So it'll be an
That's
extra
what's up.
bonus.
That's always great at Moody's. Sometimes we have Ryan. He'll make hot dogs on the side of his car with those electro called the Wagner Wieners. Shout out Ryan Wagner. Appreciate you for always making those hot dogs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Brittany, man, that's always a.
it's like a highlight. Like
In
our buddy
between
Jason
rounds?
is like,
Ugh.
he's like, I don't even eat hot dogs, but that's what I want at Moody's.
Yeah.
I want
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
Wagner Wiener. You know what I'm saying?
So when you, I guess when you go, and do you ever think about putting an option on disc golf scene as like I'm gonna say a tip, but some sort of gratuity for the TD? Because I feel like that's something I would be more inclined to just give you X amount of dollars than have to figure out like some retail scheme to like, I don't know, make it legal. Like I'd rather just go, thank you for putting on 10 events in 2 months. Here's an extra $50 for being awesome. Is that like
Buy some
allowed?
raffle tickets.
Oh, is that just the way to do it? Raffle tickets?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a cheat code.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think I can ethically say, hey, tip me.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. But raffle tickets is the way.
Raffle tickets is totally the way.
Done. That's easy.
Yeah.
If you're wondering
Oh,
how TDs
okay.
make money, it's like raffle tickets, player packs, payouts, and the $2, $3 TD fee that you can take, or refunds.
So note to our listeners: you go out to your tournaments. If they're selling raffle tickets, buy raffle tickets.
You might win a basket.
That
Who
I mean,
knows?
Yeah.
Yoshi's won a bunch. I mean, I feel like Yoshi gets pulled from your raffles like every third event, and he's won
yeah.
some cool stuff. And Pete too. I think,
Well, our
Yep,
boy Lee
Peter.
Fleming at the doubles tournament that they were in, they put all of their winnings into the raffle.
That's something we're doing this
awesome.
year. Yep,
Yeah.
that's a change for this year.
I'm way into that too.
And
That's
so,
sick.
yeah, and then he ended up with a bag. Like,
Dude,
a new
that's
bag.
sick.
Yeah. So
The doubles we're playing as part of the Texas AM series. You already had a doubles tournament that's done. So like some of the people have already qualified for the Texas AM series. It seems like it plays a little bit like NADGT in that if you do well, if you're in the top percentage, you qualify. Can you walk us through what the Texas AM series is?
Sure. So, the biggest, after staffing in ADGT for a couple of years, I think the biggest recurring complaint is that there's not really payout anymore. So if you notice, they changed the model, and I support them for doing this, and I know why they did it. So I'm switching off to people, from all the MA1 players playing MPO. They created a new tour finale that's in February, and that's where you get to play for the big cash and the tour pass.
where's that going to be?
That one's in February. It's in Florida. So they have the NEG National Championship, which is in November now. Everybody's really familiar with, and now they have this tour finale.
So what's the tour finale? How do you get into that?
You have to win one of the big events. You have to be one of the point earners, or you have to qualify at nationals. Okay. So they laid out a few new options to qualify for that, and it should be a pretty awesome tournament.
It sounds awesome. Yeah. Do you know where they're playing in Florida?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it's a New World. That's off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think it's actually in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Sounds
Yeah.
like yeah.
So, but yeah, one complaint that I heard a lot last year was that people weren't really happy with the payout. And one thing about that is the player pack you guys got was worth $400.
Yeah.
So,
For the finals?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
You're saying there was no payout in finals?
There was a payout that was $10 per player. So if again, looking at that tour standards document, if your player pack value exceeds your entry fee, you no longer are entitled to a payout, basically, depending on the tier of an event.
Yeah, I guess we didn't do good enough for the payout anyway on that. And
Oh,
so-
I was not even looking. I got
Yeah.
hit in the face with a disc, with someone's hand on
Yeah.
the second hole the first
He got-
day.
he got a
I
shiner
played
day
the rest of NADGT with a black eye that I could barely see out of.
Oh my God.
At the second hole, first day.
More
The guy got a dude got an ace, and we're all going to high five him. And he has hands up in the air, and he swung them down hard and hit it into my glasses, and my glasses cut my eye. Still got 2 good scars there, and it was just I was looking out of one eye the rest of the tournament.
I'm so sorry.
There he is. There he is.
Successful. All right, let's go.
All right, we got our first one. But anyway,
like 3 of those.
so it seemed like you took some good feedback from NADGT and sort of created a maybe more localized Texas series.
Yeah, so still doing a bunch of NADGT stuff, and the idea with the Texas series was to, one, put on an event, because I really do love hosting events.
Yeah, you're a great event
Appreciate
host.
it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to create that event that people get excited about.
yeah.
So, and then the other idea was to build up this huge pot for payout and do a huge player pack. So trying to match it with both, give players a reason to play all the events and qualify, and also to build up that $2,500 that's the minimum that we're gonna have added to payout. And I've been working with vendors, and we're gonna get as many vendors as we can at Sprinkle Valley, and we're gonna make Goose Bucks so that you guys can use your Goose Bucks at any vendor that you want to. And
That's so smart.
it's gonna be a blast. So so that's where kind of the idea came from. It came from working with Mint and some other locals, because we really want to see who's the best amateur in Texas, and to make it more of a true amateur event. Even though we're allowing some pros to play, depending on how much cash you've earned, I don't want to exclude those guys who accidentally accepted $40 in cash.
Yeah.
Round one time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they effectively can't play AM anymore.
Yeah. Well, they can play MA1 until they're 970, right?
And it's based on any division. It's 970 for MA1. I think it's 930 for MP40. It's all in that tour standard.
Oh, cool.
document
Yeah, that
he
one. Yeah, we
referenced.
were just
one that
looking at the other
we
day.
didn't read.
Yeah. Yep.
We just looked at the matrix.
So, tell us about how many tournaments you have coming up. One question I didn't want to forget was the doubles. So
Yeah.
if you qualify for doubles, both of you qualify.
Yeah.
Is that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Why not? Let's make it fun. There are some people out there who sometimes they just get nerves playing singles. Sometimes their game is just not the same. And doubles, I feel like there's less pressure.
Oh, we all know those guys.
And it's just so much
the doubles
fun.
pros. I feel like I'm even one of them. Like, there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
I want to run some aces. Let's do it.
You had a weird thing you wanted to ask him about though, right? You had a card to someone qualified.
Oh, yeah. So if there's a card,
Like hypothetically.
yeah, hypothetically. Well, I mean, we could look back at I can't remember the names of the two guys that Rigdon and I played with first round.
I don't know if you got the hint there. Hypothetically.
Let's go with the hypothetical.
Yeah, let's say hypothetically.
So say you have an MA1 and an MA3 guy, and they play. And sorry, did I get excited?
No.
Hit
Yeah,
my mic?
good.
Sometimes I get excited, hit my mic. So you got an MA1 and an MA3 guy, and they qualify MA2. Can they, like, when it comes to the amateur championship, can they both play MA2, or can they split up and play MA1 and MA3 where they would normally be? Or
So whenever I put those invitations in on Disc Golf Scene, I kind of just enter. I have to enter in player by player in the division they qualified in. If you just shoot me an email and say, "Hey, I'm an MA3 player. I want to play MA3," I'll be like, "Cool."
sweet.
I would say if there's any person who does that, not only fast, but like very cool, it's Goose always. It could be as far as I accidentally signed up in the wrong division. It could be, hey, I signed up for MA3, but everyone's playing an MA2. Do you mind if I just switch to an MA2? Almost, I mean, literally within minutes, Goose is on it. And that's probably the reason why we wanted to ask again, because it feels like you're the guy who's not only Johnny on the spot, like responding and taking care of stuff, but you're sort of like pushing the edge. Like you're kind of like, okay, what's the boundary? What's the best we can do?
Yeah.
Let's see what a step past that looks like.
And I love, and we obviously we play in a lot of your tournaments. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
that's one of the things I
Thanks.
like is it's very like, if you say this is going to be different at the tournament, we're changing out these holes or something, they're different. You know what I mean? It's always very transparent. I know there's been some other, even NADGT ones that I went to. I think there was one at Stark where they're like, it's going to be the classic 21 hole layout. And I was like, rad. I signed up and we got there and they're like, oh yeah, it was raining. We did 18. And it's like, I mean, I'm okay with 18. I like the course, but
Really, the sell to drive up here was the 21.
yeah, it was something different and cool. And that's something that you guys, it's always very transparent. Like the lines for what you're doing with the money. It's
What do you think the in that same vein, like as you go forward, like you had the finals coming up, what are some of the things you're excited for this year that you have like that are different than last year? I remember you said you just made a couple big orders. I know Innova's working with you on some events. I know you got other sponsors coming in. It seems like there's just a million things going on with Goose. What are some things you're excited for 24?
Oh, I'm pumped. Loot Bags is sponsoring us. I don't know if you guys have used their stuff.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they're awesome.
They're amazing. I saw they just printed some. I saw Goose on their logo on their feed. Yeah.
Yep. And then I was actually texting Chris on the way here because I had a question about another company reached out to me that makes like another chalk product, and they were like, "Hey, we want to give you this much added cash for one of my 2 B tiers. I'm lowering the number of B tiers because my savings account kept taking hits, as I said earlier."
yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna reach out to Loot Bags to make sure this is cool," and they were like, "We'll beat their offer."
Hell yeah.
And I was like, let's go.
Let's
So they're going to
go.
make like new custom stuff for this event. This will be the Flat Creek Open, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We'll definitely
Yeah.
be there.
Oh, it's going to,
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for that one.
Now, that kind of leads us to where are you going to have tournaments? How many tournaments are you going to be? Are there going to be? And where's the finals going to be?
Oh yeah. Well,
Sorry.
hold on. I'll answer both at the
let me
same
finish
time.
the first question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, that's what we're here for. I can talk as long as you guys want me to. So that's one thing for next year. We're kind of cutting down on the number of courses. Last year, I think we used like 23 total courses, and it's a ton.
You guys were all over the place too. Yeah.
I'm kind of focusing in on like the city of Austin.
Cool.
And then I'm doing a couple at Waco. They actually recently reached out to me to run their qualifier. I'm not going to do that because I don't think there's a weekend that works right now.
You mean a qualifying tournament to enter the
Waco Charity
tournament?
Open.
So that's sick. So, and I don't mean to change it too hard, but does that mean that like an amateur like us could go play that tournament and qualify to compete with the pros at Waco?
Yeah.
Tin Cup?
Yep.
Did we just find our Tin Cup moment?
There's going to be
How many times are we going to have to play?
How
with
many?
these to
Well,
get
how
in
many
there?
qualifiers are there?
So there's going to be a qualifier for every Pro Tour event. So, for example, Crush on the Concho, I believe, is one for Texas States, and I believe Victoria is a qualifier for Texas States as well.
Is there a qualifier at the Harvey Pennick for the Open in Austin?
Going to be on Tuesday.
So is there any open spots where I can make sure that's filled up right away? I just want to play the course.
There's a chance that I'll be running it. I need to iron out those details. So it'll be on the Tuesday. It'll be at Harvey Pennick, and I think it'll be a 1-round tournament.
Cool.
I would love to just play it. Like
Yeah.
that course is
Same.
hardly
Oh, yeah.
ever open. I got to play it once for doubles, and I don't think it was the actual layout. So I'd love to run the course.
Yeah, well,
that'd be sick.
Well, as soon as I know, I'll be able to let you guys know. It was brought up to me like a month ago, and then everybody's been busy ever since.
And we'll obviously promote that on that.
Yeah, and we'd love to. And I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but like whole sponsorships and stuff you can see coming from us in the near future for sure. Especially some of your bigger events where you know, need a little, I don't know, any help that we can give. But at the same time, we have been looking for someone to run our ratings by. So you want to maybe give us what you think we could do as far as like us as a ratings before we
let's go.
Oh, you start with
look
me?
at you, plus
Embarrassing.
4.
Yep, starting with Nick.
Embarrassing. Okay.
Well, so let me ask you this, Nick.
All right.
First of all, it was kind of a question I brought up earlier. How do you feel about donating your money to the rest of the pro division or getting some kind of item like a player pack?
Right. So that, I guess my mind thought that question before. I played at the Sprinkle Valley Mint tryout, and the only thing that was open was MP40. I just wanted to play Sprinkle Valley in a tournament. Didn't think I was, you know, I really had no business being MP40. But it felt a little better giving X dollars, knowing that like the tournament director is still going to get theirs, and that the rest of that money was in the mix. It was, who knows who's going to win. Who did Nick maybe get a hot round and sneak up into cash and maybe paid for the tournament? That kind of sounds a little more fun than the other to me a little bit. That is coming from like the ultra competitive side of me. Because like you can look at the chaoticness that is my ratings history, but like I can have a good round, then a not so good round. That's a pretty, if I have a
Chaos golf.
Yeah, a little chaos golf. If you were me, what would you do?
So let's see. How many? Well, so you have 8 career wins. Let's
So
look
click
at
on
that.
those.
Let's look.
That's
let's
a little
talk about
deceiving.
that.
That's deceiving.
So okay. So let's look at some of these. Looking at these, let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So the bottom
7
three
flex starts.
The bottom 3 don't count because I was a 1 of 1 in MA40.
And then, but you did win the Hayes County Disc Golf Championship,
That's a big deal. Yeah.
and that was an MA3.
That was.
So that's the point where I would say move up to MA2 or move up to MA40, whatever. So really, I feel like it goes with the bigger wins. So once you win the base division, that could be MA3, then I would say move to MA2 and then move to MA1. If you're looking for ratings improvements, your rating is going to go up a little bit more when 1, you're playing with better players, and 2, if you're playing better layouts. So all these people who are like 926 rated playing MA2, who are like so concerned about their rating, aren't going to get as big of a ratings jump because they're still playing the short tees.
Yeah.
I noticed that we played the longs from Met Center, and like a plus 12 was the same rating as like a -3 from the shorts.
And I like playing the longs almost always better anyway.
Well, you gotta
It's
rock
more
it.
fun.
That's why.
Do not have a
noodle arm is not.
I have the
Hard to
smallest
be-
qualified rocket possible. Like it can just barely get off of the rock, and then it's just in the ocean. Just because there's flames out the back doesn't make it a rocket. It's just an airplane on fire, I think. But okay.
Rigged in.
So
next.
if you had to say a final answer for me, it would be
I would say MA2 or MA40.
okay.
Whatever. Again, it all depends on the kind of people you want to play with. So are you cool playing with a potential 13-year-old that's going to kick your ass?
It's happened and it's embarrassing.
no.
So then play
it's
MA40.
Yeah.
Or if you want your rating to go a little bit higher and you don't mind getting beat, play MP40, MA1, or MPO. But I would encourage not playing the MPO divisions just because it changes your mindset when you're playing pro versus amateur.
I agree.
Where it's like, I want this money. This is money that I earned, and I have to compete with somebody who averages 10 strokes around better than me.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of the fun out of the game.
And that's something I want to keep up. Fun level I'd like to keep high.
So-
Fun is the most important.
So stick with amateur.
All right.
Because while it's fun to win money, it's way less fun to lose money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's
I
not
guess in
feeling
my
like
mind,
going
I
to
didn't
Vegas.
think about it. Like in my mind, it's money lost anyway. So if like if you're paying, like, what's like a normal, what'd you say is the average entry fee to a tournament if you had to put a number on it?
Let's go with $50.
That's a great round number. So if you have $50, like $10 of it, no matter what, is kind of going towards like
PDGA, greens fees, permits, TD.
Probably 15 or 20 of it's gone.
So let's say you have $35 left in play, It's really like, do you want that $35 to go towards some cool plastic or to be won by somebody else?
That's your question.
And it feels like the amateur route is probably the way to go for at least, I don't know, a season or two
For
more.
a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Until you break, at least until you break 900, I think.
I think at least until you, right now, with how good people are nowadays,
So many good people.
I don't think people really should be playing pro until they're 950 or above.
Amen, brother. I think
Okay.
you're right. I think
Yeah.
that's the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I keep dropping. I'm back to 941, and I compete just fine in pro, but I have so much more fun playing MA1. And I get to like recycle all this plastic into like my payout and stuff. Or
Yeah.
raffles, so I don't care. It's
Yeah,
a win
right.
for me.
It's, okay, let's check out Rigdon. Let's see
Okay.
what you-
All right,
what you pick
Rigdon?
for.
Okay.
Yeah.
877. All right. So yeah,
Another +4.
congrats. Let's look at those 2 career wins right there. Let's
Oh
pull those
man.
up. Are they flex starts?
No, one of them is, but one is actually a solid win.
Oh, you
Look
won
at
the Throwdown
that.
Showdown. Look
yeah,
at you.
and that was a
Michelob
while
Ultra.
ago too. But yeah,
yeah.
I worked really hard for that. I played Met Center like every day for a week and was like, I'm gonna just crush this tournament, and
And you did.
That's
I
what's
did.
up, dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's tight.
Winning a B tier is sick.
Yeah, that's legit.
2-day B tier. Yeah.
And so that I feel like that being in that 850 to 880 range is really where the MA3 division fits in. So yeah, the rules say less than 900, but a lot of the times the people who are 899 are probably going to win every single tournament in MA3.
Yeah.
You probably-
It's hard to keep it's hard to even keep your rating at around that without like you've had to, like if you're 890 rated ish, that means you're actually scoring like 930 to 950 on average and just slowly working out all of your
old
820s, 830s from, a while ago. Cause it feels like MA3, MA2 is like a transition division.
Absolutely.
We were talking about if each division was a meme, and MA3's meme is just chaos, where the guy who's third is probably highest rated, and the guy who's first is probably middle of the pack, but just had a hot day.
Yep.
So
Always.
it could be anybody. Like we were saying, he's won MA3 and would have also won MA2.
Or I've been second or third in MA3
And would have won
won
MA2.
Yep.
That's also live up. That's live.
That course doesn't count.
But what we got for Earl Freeberg?
So what do you think Rigdon should do? MA3?
Yeah, sorry.
Rigdon, what are your goals in disc golf?
just to play more consistently. And rating doesn't really matter, but I do really want to hit like a 900 rating. And I honestly don't really care about wins or payouts or anything like that. I typically will just kind of compare myself to the field. So like, especially I'm still playing a lot of MA3. I will usually, no matter how I do, I will look and see how I compare to like MA2 and even compared myself to the pros and just kind of see across the field how I did.
I love doing that too.
And here's another question for you. When you're playing in a group, and does the pace of play of another player, their knowledge of the rules, and their shots affect your game? So if you're on a
That's a
card
great question.
and somebody, this has happened to me in a tournament,
Yeah.
lines up to just like do like a warm up and they throw their disc backwards right at all your faces. Or if you're playing with somebody and they shank it 1,000 feet to the left and they start screaming obscenities and are so angry
Right.
that it just kills the vibe on the card.
Yeah, I see what maybe you're getting at.
Is that MA3 stuff, or is that?
MA3 stuff all day. And MA2 stuff. It's all also MA2.
Yeah, it feels
But
way
it's-
more in the lower division.
But it's more in the MA3 division.
I agree. I totally agree.
And
Well, I would just to answer it, I don't think people's play really affects me that much, but something I've noticed that is very cool about playing MA3 is it just feels a lot more fun. And then something about MA2, and I've noticed even like seeing MA1 players is like there's a seriousness to it. And then if they're not playing well, there's like a frustration that comes out. And I feel that too, if I'm like kind of trying to hit, because I'm on the cusp of something more. And it's very frustrating when you're not hitting that, when you know you're at a certain level and you're playing like MA2 and you're not playing at that. So there's a little bit more like frustration and stuff that comes out on a card that I don't really like. But it is really cool to play MA2 and just be like, wow, everybody's just draining these putts. Like these drives are good. It's just cool to like see people playing at that slightly higher level. So
It kind of feels like that's the big difference between MA2 and MA1 is like a consistency in and around the green. Like there's just there's no question on 12-foot putts. Like really circle one is kind of like, I don't say a gimme in MA1, but that is sort of the line you have to be hitting.
Well, that's the difference between MA1 and pros as well. So the difference between MA2 to MA1 is you're making all of your 15 footers, or I'd say 90% of your 15 footers, about 80% of your 25 and ins, and then maybe 50% in circle 2. When you jump to pro, all your pros are going to be making 90. Your serious pros, your 1,000 rated pros, like the ones who are actually cashing at these tournaments.
Yeah,
they're going to be making 95+% inside the circle.
Circle, yeah.
And then they're probably anywhere from 50 to 100% inside circle 2.
Man, I saw an Instagram with Jeremy Coling, Big Jer.
Yeah, Big
He
Jer.
was talking about what it takes to be a pro. And it was very intimidating. He's like, you need a 500-foot shot that fades to the left. You need a 500-foot shot that fades to the right.
Yep.
You need to hit 90% from 50 feet and out. You need
It almost feels like a video game where you have all these attributes you need to like start building. I felt that very much as I don't say kind of came out of, it's kind of tangent, but like you come out of the beginner phase, and as a beginner, you're really just searching for any disc that will work. Anything that stays in the fairway, anything that just does what it says it's supposed to do because you haven't quite figured out how to throw yet. And then all of a sudden you figure out how to throw. And then you're like, oh, well, now I need to learn how to throw a turnover. Now I need to learn how to throw a flex shot. Well, now I need to be able to throw hard hyzers. Now I need to be able to throw big backhand turn. Like the different shots, you're like, oh, this course actually isn't that hard when you can just throw a straight shot that goes farther than 250 feet, which I know is not that big a deal, but just that, I feel like if you have that shot in the bag, you sort of can get around most courses, but then all of a sudden you can take a 300-foot that goes a little right. Like you said, a 400-foot goes left. You're like, oh,
that makes a big difference.
A par is possible from the longs. And then all of a sudden you see a guy who can do that shot, but consistently, accurately from 500. And you're like, birdies.
Yes.
And that's the other thing that seems different is like
the mentality between MA1 and MA and MPO is I need to birdie everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in MA2 are like, I need to birdie everything, but it's more just the mentality of consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what whenever I was playing MA2, that's where I started was I moved up to MA1 after about a year, and my rating bumped a ton. It was great. I feel like MA2 is the most serious division because everybody wants so badly to get better. And then in MA1, we're like, all right, we're kind of good now.
Yeah.
But we're not pros. So we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be the best still. But it does suck when we do bad. So that's something that you notice moving those divisions. But also people in MA2 will get a player pack disc and they'll put it in their bag and they'll throw it for the first time in the tournament. And that is a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And so knowledge of your discs is another big difference between MA2 and MA1. A lot of people will change their bag up almost every week. It's like, okay, I know this one disc really well. I'm going to put 3 new discs in my bag that are supposed to do this. And I'm going to play a tournament the same weekend with them. It's not going to work.
That's nuts.
That's insane to me. And I used to do that. I was that person. And my bag has changed. I've changed 3 discs in the last couple months. And that's after I go sit in the field and I throw the same shot over and over again at the same angle, figure out exactly what my disc does, figure out what shape I need to create. Then I put myself on a hole. So let's think Roy G hole 6.
Perfect. Okay.
You guys both know that one. You have a forehand shot, you have a backhand shot. If you want to birdie the hole from the shorts, you need to throw about 350 feet. And depending on how comfortable you are, if you want to birdie with a backhand, you do a backhand and then aim through the left, but you have to throw a turnover shot as your second shot.
Yep.
So you go from a hyzer shot to a turnover shot. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to go back to back.
Yeah.
How many MA2 players can consistently do that?
Well, that's the only way you can birdie that hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you can throw 350-foot forehands.
I've already accepted that I'm never going to birdie that hole.
That's one of my favorites. It's a good birdie. It's the hardest hole in the course.
I agree.
So
I think it's up there. I think 9 is up there with it too.
Okay.
I
got an eagle on it the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, from the shorts?
I got it from the shorts. Yeah.
What is?
I had a
That's insane.
250-foot throw in.
Is 9 the one that's immediately a little left?
It's old hole 15.
Oh yeah.
Down the walking path with the shorter basket.
Great.
Yeah. That was a fun one. I think 6 and 15 are the two that.
Yeah, 15. New 15 is the one that's the other one that I would say competes with 6 is the hardest.
I've birdied 15. I don't have any plans in my future of ever birdieing 6. And 9, I've had a look. I need to throw one in from 50 plus to the birdie.
But 15, you need to birdie. You need a 350 off the box because you don't have much room to throw farther than that. Then you need 400 on your second shot.
From the longs, I think the short hole is about 600 feet.
Oh, so you need 3 and 3 then.
It's straight.
It's doable.
But it's a dope
No turnover.
dope hole, straight 3 and 3.
Yeah.
It all depends on. It's all about your second shot.
Yeah. Can you get that second shot to penetrate? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It's a great course. Yeah. We got to get to free break.
but also to go back to your rating.
Yeah.
Depending on how serious you want to be, if you want to have more fun, play MA3. If you want to like be a little bit more serious, play MA2.
Yeah.
It's up to how much fun you want to have. It's up to you. You're right there in that middle cusp.
Yeah, I was kind of saying earlier that it's kind of up to what my friends are doing in the tournament. I'm kind of bouncing around, like seeing where they're playing and kind of who I want to play with. Mm-hmm. So, perfect. Thanks.
No, of course.
Nice.
All right.
I love how we ask you to break it down, like where should we play? And you're like, show me the rating. And we all have effectively the same rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
885.
here's mine.
So 5 career wins. Let's look at those.
He's got some good wins too.
Yeah, these are different though. Like so.
Let's see. Yeah, Fuego Friday. So there's one flex start.
They're all flexes.
Flexes, man.
Yeah.
Get a big win in MA3 or
Yeah.
get a big win in MA40 and then move up. And that's kind of the thing. It's like win the bottom division, then move up to the next one and then win the next division. But, there are a lot of wins. Most of my wins are from flex starts too. I've only won like 2 or 3 actual tournaments before. So it's a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to start like above your grade, right?
Yeah.
Like if you lie on a resume for a job interview, you're either going to be drowning for a while and have to like kick yourself up.
Yeah.
Or you're just not going to have fun.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same thing. If you're playing like above your skill level, it might be more frustrating if you keep getting beat by people who just have generally average rounds. I know you beat me when we were playing together at Roy G one time.
I did, but that's a little bit of the chaos golf.
Right.
Like you didn't have your best day. I had a pretty good day. And I think that's all that was that. Guys, don't read too much into that.
I also threw
you did something weird that day. That doesn't count.
I threw an entire bag of new discs.
Yeah, you had all new discs. That doesn't count at all. That's right. I knew it was something weird. Yeah, he had all brand new discs.
I wanted to fill some slots in my bag. So I just like picked out, I made an entire bag of discs that based on their flight numbers and how beat in they were, I figured they'd fit. And so I think I shot like 2 down at Roy G still with them.
Really good.
Yeah, crushed.
Yeah.
But again, it's all putting, right? It's making your putts.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you do, when you assess a player, like I'm sure a lot of people ask you about this, like what parts of the game do you think, like if like Rigdon says, I want to get 900, like that was a goal he said. If you had to make a list of 3 things that you work on to make your rating better, what are they?
Number 1 would be putting. And number 2 would be putting. And I think number 3 would be putting.
Okay. That's a good list.
So I think throwing's relative.
Yeah.
I don't throw very far compared to a lot of pros out there. And for a long time, I was a much better putter. But again, this is somebody, I'm a 950 rated player compared to like, it could be completely different coming from like a 1010 rated player. But I know for me, I have 2 baskets in my backyard. If I hit those baskets every single day, my rating would go up like 50 points. Then I think if we're going to break it down even more, the second most important thing is upshots. If your putting sucks, get yourself closer to the basket. So whatever that 150 to 200 foot and in shot is for you, whether it's let's say it's just like a chip forehand with like a Toro, zone, lasso, whatever your disc is, or just like a straight backhand 150 foot shot, whatever you do to get yourself close to the basket is going to help you with both your putting and your scores. So if you guys get really good at jump putting, like 100, 120 feet and in, if you're really comfortable with that, that's so much easier than having to do a consistent throw or doing like any kind of other layup shot. Because if you know like, hey, I know I can jump putt exactly 100 feet.
I've been doing this, and I'm just before the basket. I know it doesn't really have the highest percentage of going in, but I know I'm going to be in that little halo that is a no-brainer for me.
Exactly, and that's what you want every single time. So get that shot really, really good, and make it the same shot. Do the same shot every single time. So if you watch like someone like Drew Gibson throw, 90% of his shots are hyzers. Like he doesn't need to know how to throw like all these different angles because he's so good at that hyzer shot that he can let the discs do the work.
Nice,
right? So just recreate that. So for me, it's a chip forehand with a zone. I know exactly how far I can throw my zone. I know exactly how stable my zone is. So I throw that zone from 150 to 250 feet every single time. And it works.
I throw the zone a lot. My boy Rig didn't throw his zone.
Throw the zone a lot.
Yeah.
I won't leave home without it.
Yep.
Same.
I feel
Yeah.
My
like
bag too.
Yeah. Zone is one of those discs that
3.
I have 3. Yeah.
I feel like one of mine could overtake a mid-range eventually. Like I feel like I don't necessarily need a super beefy buzz. I feel like I could just keep a beefier new hard plastic zone in there and be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's a disc that I recommend to everybody. They're like, what disc do I have to have in my bag? Zone. Yeah. Or whatever the clone is for whatever company.
Yeah. There's
I think the Zone, for me at least, is my favorite one. It's
what I like about the Zone, there's so many different plastic options for it. So like if it's cold weather, there's a good like ESP flex for it. Like obviously like the Z is awesome. The Crystal Flex, like a Ledgestone Crystal Flex Zone. I mean, come on.
That's what I
That's
throw.
that's what I throw too. It's the best. That's the best. You fished out a Crystal Flex Zone of mine for my
yep.
green one. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's why. Is that why it was so precious? You knew it was important.
Oh yeah, well you told me about it. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, if you find this disc, and I think it was actually one of the 218 discs that we pulled out of the pond that day. I think that was one of the first ones.
That was
That's
the pond
amazing.
at Flat Creek, right?
That was a Flat Creek pond.
yeah.
Well, I'll be back in there again in June. So if you've lost a disc in the Flat Creek pond, maybe I'll find it this time.
So tell our listeners and viewers what to look forward to, whatever you want to.
Oh, yeah.
pump
Yeah.
right now.
What do you got coming up next? Yeah.
So the next big ones are going to be the doubles at Moody's. That's going to be, I think that one's going to be a lot of fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in total there's going to be 5 doubles tournaments this year.
That's awesome.
we
Good
did-
job doing more doubles. We need it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah. So the mentality coming into this year is what tournaments don't exist anymore. Gone are the days of the 2-round B tiers or 2-round C tiers in one day. Those are gone for whatever
Are you doing
reason.
some?
Oh, I'm doing a bunch. That's what that's what the
Yes.
basis of the M
Yeah,
series was.
That's what all the M series are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're
man,
all one
that's
day
great.
2-rounders because people don't do them anymore. Nobody really seems to have the time to commit their entire weekend to disc golf. COVID's
rough.
done.
Yeah.
They have other things to do.
Yeah.
So there's the hardcore disc golfers, like all of us, clearly, doing a podcast about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
are we're willing to commit that time.
Yeah.
But what about average Joe who just wants to play his first
Well,
tournament?
you got people with kids too, and
Yeah,
people with
families.
full-time job that
Absolutely.
don't- yeah.
Chickens in the backyard. Yeah.
There are people that work on both Saturday and Sunday, and they're like, man, I can't play this tournament because it's Saturday and Sunday. But if there was a one-day tournament, heck
Get a
yeah.
day off. Yeah.
So
Also, walk through this scenario. You go to talk to the missus and you go, hey, I'm going to play in a disc golf tournament this weekend. And she goes, oh, just on Saturday? And you go, on Sunday too.
Sorry.
Immediately, it's a little bit different
Also, yeah.
sell.
Also, I'm going to be gone Friday.
Yeah, because there's going to be a flex start that I'm going to go run the
I wanna
course on real
practice it.
quick.
So-
I've done that plenty of weekends. But like you said, being able to knock it out in one day is sick. So what's the first double C tier you got coming up?
the first one was actually at the Dilla. We had 50 players. The next one's going to be Moody's. And then
Oh, not for doubles. I mean for sorry.
singles.
Yeah, singles.
Singles will be Moody's on Sunday,
Oh, so we have the doubles on Friday. Then we can get
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday doubles, Sunday
Yeah.
singles. And then
Definitely
we're
doing Saturday.
Benbrook at the 25th. So in February, later that month.
Benbrook is hard.
Benbrook is hard. I still haven't played it.
You haven't played it?
No, not yet.
I haven't played it with the last couple editions, but the last time I played it, it was incredible. I can't wait to go back out.
It's
there.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm pumped to actually get out there. It's just not in my. I have this thing where I don't drive more than 15 minutes unless I play disc golf.
What part of town are you in?
I live on Holly Street in East Austin, so I'm downtown.
Oh, so Roy,
It took me
G.
19 minutes to get here. You're welcome.
Oh, we're right. I say we're right on your edge, right? We're right on the edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
You're
just
in the
like
vicinity.
Thank you so much for making it all the way down
so
to
I need
man
to come
check.
get you, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
exactly. So yeah, we're doing those. The next doubles ones. There's Moody's. Then there's going to be Stark. I'm going to get that.
That'll be a fun one.
That'll be in
Yeah, yeah.
March. And then in April, I'm going to get Zilker up, most likely. So Zilker doubles will be a lot of fun because Zilker is actually the most challenging course to get a permit at, just
Agreed.
because it's
Yeah, 'cause
Yep.
it's the
Park.
busiest course
Yeah.
in Texas, right? Like,
yeah. Roy G's no problem. Circle C's no problem. Zilker is a problem.
Yep.
Then we're gonna hit Waco. We're gonna do that in June. Or
Do the Beast?
We're doing doubles at the Beast and singles at Cameron.
Got to do that.
Yeah.
That's in June. And then the one I'm trying to finalize right now for doubles is going to be kind of the same flow. Saturday doubles at Flat Creek with a special layout. Sunday singles at Flat Creek.
Let's do it.
We're going to kind of combine the longs and the shorts to make it into a course that's playable for 2 rounds in a single day.
Okay.
Yeah, the longs, 2 rounds of the longs would be pretty
Right.
brutal out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does add up. There's a couple holes out there. It's like twice as far from the longs, and it's fun. Don't be wrong. But wow, you're doing a lot of hiking. I mean, there's sometimes where you're hiking up
Yeah.
to the deeps, or the tips,
Yeah, we're not playing hole 8 from the longs. It'll be like
thank you,
from the
God.
shorts, where it's a par 4, it's like 400 feet.
and it's still long.
Yeah, we're gonna
still
make that a
far.
par 3, and then you'll play to the the par 5 will be from the short pad. So
Oh, nice.
Okay.
so instead of walking all the way up the hill,
Yeah.
all the way back down the hill, you're just walking around the corner.
Donating a disc to whatever part of the hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lost it. And
Exactly.
I think I still have 2 destroyers on that hole that I threw one after another. Positive I could hit the line, and both ended in the exact same spot. Never to be seen again. Never could seen again. Yeah.
If you can throw like 360, there's actually a hyzer line on the right side of the tree that'll get you over the creek every single time, and it's a little bit easier to do.
Ooh, I'm
Just pro tip.
taking that test for
Am
sure.
tip.
Do that. Thank you.
Just
Thank
the
you so
tip
much.
for a second.
And then the finals. Where's the?
Oh yeah, talk
yeah.
about that. That's gonna be
Oh
huge.
yeah, the finals. So the finals are going to be at Sprinkle Valley and Met Center. It's
Awesome.
going to be 2 rounds, and so we'll do the goal is to do a Friday flex start at Sprinkle Valley. Right now they're doing a lot of work to like build up their parking right now, which is like the main thing that's going to be a struggle out there. But what we're going to do for the finale is we're going to make it. My goal is to make it the coolest tournament that anybody's ever played. So not only are we going to have 5 to 10 vendors out there, we're going to have a huge payout. I'm hiring a band for the player party. It's a local band that's made of my friends.
That's sick.
So I want to make sure that every single person is there. I'm trying to get free beers for everybody for part of the player party to get 300 people there all at the same time. Then we're going to the player pack's going to be right now. It's going to be like $125 for value, but it's only going to cost you guys like $90, I think, because I want to make it 100% of the entry fee is put back in player pack and payouts.
That's sick.
Because it's
Dude.
the finals, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
finals. I want to make
That's
it
the
like
way you need. Yeah.
you worked this whole time, so you're working all that, and then we're going to try to get trophies that are going to be baskets with custom wraps
Yes.
with the Texas AM Series logo.
Yes.
So you have the
He's locked up.
So there's like the 2,500 minimum added merch.
Okay.
There's the Goose Bucks to get you all the whatever you want with all the vendors, any company you want to support. There's going to be a huge player party with a band. There's going to be beer at Austin
This is
Beer
sick.
Works.
Yeah,
Like
cool.
we're playing 2 of the best courses in Austin with the Met Center and Sprinkle. One cool thing for this year is I've partnered with Trail Candy, which is Trevor Williamson.
Yeah.
So he's going to be filming the lead card final round. He's
Hell
also
yeah.
filming
Awesome.
all MPO cards or the MPO final round for the B tiers, Flat Creek Open and Circle G.
That's sick.
Dope.
So, and then yeah, with the really cool trophies being these, you're going to get a basket.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that right now. I actually have my first Innova basket coming sometime today with my huge order for Moody's, which is going to have a really cool custom stamp on it.
Okay, you teased it. What do you got coming from Innova for Moody's? What can we win out there?
For Innova, I got 250 discs.
Okay.
And Innova has a cool program. They have 2 programs. They have the custom fundraiser CFR and tournament fundraiser TFR. And with the TFR program, you get to order discs that you've like dreamed of in plastics that you don't really know about, like don't really ever see on the shelves. And it's only for tournaments that partnership with the program, which basically to partner with the program, you make your event supported by Innova. You
Yeah.
add their logo to the disc, you add their logo to the layout, right? So I throw a lot of Innova. That's like kind of my go-to. I have these weird like greasy hands for whatever reason. So normal plastics don't grip right for me, but for whatever reason, Innova does. So Jason and I picked out 250 Innova discs with like 18 different molds and plastics. So what's like your favorite Innova disc that you like to throw?
It'd be either a Leopard 3 or a Destroyer.
Well, we're gonna get Halo Destroyers. We're getting like Champion Leopard 3s. I think we're getting Halo Leopard 3s. We're getting like Gummy Champion Toros, Metal Flake Firebirds.
Dope.
So
Dope.
is there a plastic that you like, Nick? Like from Innova?
I mean, Innova, I love Halo, but also love Star Plastic. It's probably if I had a core go to, I guess maybe if I had to pick 2, I'd pick a Star T-Bird or I mean, the Gummy Champ Toros are pretty sick.
I'm pumped for those. That's the first thing. Like I'm stealing one for myself as soon as I get home today.
Yeah, the only approach disc I have that's not a Zone or a Berg is that Toro, and I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
I like the G-Star plastic, but I've been told that that's for little kids.
We could not.
that?
The G Star is what got me into it. Yep. The G Star is not an option for me to order, unfortunately.
That's
So,
cool.
so you to understand, you were able to pick your mold and the type of plastic, and it's not like already made. So they made those discs for you.
I think they just take them off their warehouse shelf.
Oh,
whatever's
okay. I did.
available. So
I
it's
guess what I
right?
meant was like if like they don't make metal flake destroyers.
Yeah.
That you could just pick them?
If it's listed, yeah, I can pick them.
Or-
so like they don't
okay.
sell Metal Flake Firebirds, right?
I got it. So they're
now I
only
have-
available to you guys. So the only place you can get. Oh, that's sick.
really
Yep.
cool.
That's really cool. That's man.
That's the kind of
That's
disc you
special.
want at a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That precisely. I guess you know what? I think I just had a complete change of thought on discs at tournaments. If it's like that, why wouldn't you want that? Because that's the only place you can get them. Like anything I can just go into Disc Nation or get on like whatever on Shop app. Who cares? Like, but to get stuff you can't get anywhere else, that's
dope.
sick.
Especially when it's good stuff that you'll throw.
And personalized stamp.
Yeah.
And you got to like from
And-
two guys that throw a lot of Innova got to pick them. So we picked
Yeah.
like Halo Wraiths, Halo Destroyers, like the things that are hard to find that people will want.
It's funny. We talked about this on another podcast where we go, why do not only stores, but why did tournament directors buy weird discs, like discs that no one really throws? Like, why not just stick to the top 15 or 20% and everyone's happy rather than like, I can't think of an odd disc right now, but like a, what's a weird, like a Mamba.
Yeah.
It's got a use but not everyone
can
throws a
throw 'em.
Mamba. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one with any real arm speed throws Mambas. You know what I mean? Unless you're throwing a roller.
Right. I mean, most of the discs I order are discs I actually personally know. I know like what people like. So and then with companies like Innova has a far bigger selection than like MVP.
Almost
or
too
custom
big.
stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Huge.
But like ordering from MVP, you get like 7 options for
Yeah.
custom stamping.
Oh, yeah.
Mint is awesome because they give me like 10 and they're right here. I can like run over to like the
go pick 'em up.
headquarters. Yeah. And be like, hey, Zach, I'm on my way. He's like, cool. I'm in the store for you.
Yeah. Nice.
Like, or it's like, oh, go bang on the warehouse door. Go get them.
Yeah.
It's like one of those options.
There's a box that says Goose on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually my last order. Like I ran into Ryan Wagner out there with 4 boxes of Goose discs.
That's awesome.
So,
So what, besides Innova and Mint, any other manufacturers you're excited about working with?
MVP is where I'm probably aiming for the baskets. MVP is great. They're so easy to work with. They really, really love disc golf. They've signed 2 of the biggest players right now. And
Huge.
so they're just going to be doing so much. I think there was a survey that came out recently that MVP is currently like the fan favorite.
Really?
And dethroned Innova for the first time.
Wow.
Like,
That's
Wow.
X number of
amazing.
I believe
years.
it.
That's huge.
So,
Because Innova's been around forever. Like
That's the
old
power of
guys
Simon.
like us, we just know Innova because we've been playing with it.
Yep.
I've not been playing.
Right.
Yeah,
You haven't been playing as long.
Yeah,
When
barely
I
been
started,
playing.
that's
2
all
years.
you could get was Innova. Like, yeah.
And for me, whatever, I throw Innova because people were like, I was like, hey, what's this disc? This is a Felon. They're like, oh, it's like a Firebird. I'm like, why don't I just throw the Firebird?
Yeah.
Oh, same thing. Everyone was giving me the Innova equivalent, and that's why I just threw all Innova. And like the first, I guess, 8 discs I was gifted, most of them were Innova. And I was like, well, it's kind of overwhelming when you first start, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a million discs.
And Elevation's another fun company that I get to work with this year.
Oh, right.
Oh, nice. So more Kois, more the minis they have there are
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
And they're right down the street.
Yeah, they're down in San Antonio, right?
New Braunfels, yeah.
New Braunfels.
Far
That's
away.
awesome.
I think they're officially out of San Antonio, but I think they live in New Braunfels.
That's sick. So we got Innova stuff coming. We got some MVP stuff coming with the baskets. Tons of Mint stuff. Anything else you're excited for 2024? You want to plug,
You see
or
my store that I got?
what's the store? What's going
Oh,
on?
I got
Yeah.
I bought 515 discs and like 25 bags and a couple of Zuka carts from a burnt out TD. So
Really?
So I have like a ton of DGA stuff, Elevation stuff. I have a ton of Dynamic, West Side.
Is that an online store or is that like
No, it'll only be
Goose
payout.
Bucks?
It's only Goose Promotions store, so you can only get all of this stuff like at the Goose Promotions events.
That's incredible. So people can save up Goose points and get a bag and carts?
So we're not gonna do too much rolling over of credit this year.
Okay.
Just because it's really hard to keep track of.
Okay. And it's a
gonna
lot
be
of work.
That's trusting the honor system. It's like, hey man, I cashed out $70 at this tournament. It's like,
Did you though?
did you? Because I was like, did I forget to highlight that in my spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
people will come to you and say that they cashed out, but you didn't mark it, or
it hasn't really happened yet because I haven't done my own payout for that.
that'd be
long.
so gross.
So, but yeah, it's frustrating. It's like, did I forget to mark this thing? It's like, then I'm giving somebody extra money and then
Yeah.
I end up losing more money than I'm already spending. Because to be fair, I spent $12,000 in the last month on
Disc golf
Disc golf
stuff?
merch.
Jeez.
So you're welcome.
That's more
Yeah,
than I
there's-
spent. Yeah.
I think that's the thing people don't realize is how much risk there is for the TD. Like the TD
yeah.
is exposed completely. Like there's no financial safety net. There's no way out. There's just, you take a risk that people will sign up. And if they don't,
You get $2 per player, baby.
Yeah, you kind of eat it. Yeah. But luckily you have so many events and so many people go to so many events. If kind of pretty confident about your investment.
I'm feeling okay about it. I know that with almost 40 to 50 events this year, with us doing payout for most of them, that
events.
It'll be about 50, and then it'll end up all coming back.
Yeah.
And then one cool thing I think we're gonna bring back for this summer, I've been chatting about it with Trevor. I don't know if you guys were around for like the old school Weekday Warriors minis.
No.
But my favorite thing about them was that the winner of the AM division got to pick the next course they play at.
So that's really cool.
So I want to do a sanctioned tag league. So bring back some tags and get some Goose promotion.
Sanctioned tag league?
Sanctioned tag league. And the winner of every week gets to pick, whoever like has the lowest tag at the end of the week gets to pick where the next course is.
That's
sick.
Really cool.
So
really cool. And
that way, like
you were testing that out with your winner league, right? Like something like that.
And yeah, with the winter league to see like how accessible some of the courses are, to see if we can make sure it works out. Because one thing for the city of Austin is especially the city of Austin, they're more concerned with the bigger events.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that you have like a permit for this event that's going to have 100 people. But
right.
you know, like the weekly like Monday afternoon mini is not really a big concern to them.
Right.
So that's where we can kind of like cheat the system a little bit with like just the leagues. So that way we can still play Circle C. That way we can go play Roy G without having to go through an extensive permitting process. And then ultimately like Northtown, because Northtown only allows 2 events per year. And to get a permit at Northtown, you have to do a $300 deposit 2 months in advance. And they don't even tell you if it's approved after they cash your deposit.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't get to do events at Northtown.
Yeah.
If anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I've been trying to figure out how to get on the board of the mud because I live in that area, so that I can try to facilitate that. But I haven't had a lot of luck. So
Yeah.
Freebrook tried to build a bridge at Northtown.
Did they get upset?
I don't want to. Yeah, I've put some rocks in there before, and the rocks went away.
Yep.
And then we did like a piece of fence once, and like I thought it washed away, but then I come to find out like they took it away.
Yeah.
By they, a very specific person.
Yeah.
You know who you are. We don't really know who it is.
I do, but
do you really?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
One day I'll be on the board with you, and you will hate me. But yeah, so that's one of the things we found out. And then like Ryan looked into it, and they were like, you need to submit like for the bridge, like an architectural design, and it has to be approved by us and
safe.
The funds. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. All checks out.
Yeah. And it was like we could have it designed and build it for you. Like just let us do it. And they're like,
Yeah.
So
Working with municipalities is hard.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Goose, you're on Instagram. I know you have a website too. What's the website again?
GoosePromotions.com.
That's easy. GoosePromotions.com. You can catch them at Goose Promotions on Instagram. And
Our disc golf scene is like disc golf scene / Goose Promotions. That's where you can sign up for all the events, except for the NADGT events are on a separate. They're under NADGT.
Yeah.
But we have them all on the calendar on the Goose Promotions website. So you can just like click there, go from there to sign up. It's pretty easy. And I'll be posting. I have a lot of disc golf scene pages made that are just hidden right now because I haven't gotten approval yet. But I got 4 approvals today for Roy G.
Oh, nice.
Here, so some of the Roy G events are going to start popping up probably when I get home today.
Love that.
And then hopefully during this meeting, I got some more. I'll be helping with U.S. Women's, and we're going to have 5 flex starts the week of U.S. Women's. So
Nice. Will they all be out at Sprinkle Valley?
No. So we're going to do a champion of the city. We're going to do Monday Bartholomew, Tuesday Mary Moore Seawright, Wednesday is going to be Circle C, Thursday Roy G, and then Friday at Zilker. Hopefully the ace pot builds all week.
that's really rad.
So then
we can drain
Playing
it
all
like
five.
$1,000+ ace pot at Zilker on Friday.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome. Yeah, definitely doing all 5 of those. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We just got on social media as well. Barely Stable Podcast at Barely Stable Podcast. You just got us on Twitter or X.
I got us on the X. We're on the TikTok.
Yo, guess who our first follower was?
First follower,
Elon Musk,
No.
12-time world champion,
Ken Climo.
Ken
Mr.
Climo.
Ken Climo.
Follower number 1. Gonna have more on that next week.
I think he was going to be on the podcast.
Wow.
Isn't that sick?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
Ken
huge.
Climo, 12th time. Yeah.
Real guy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the Ken Climo.
The Ken Climo.
I got the message, and I called him immediately. It's like
Just a few tears in your eyes.
I was like, we're talking to the champ. We're talking to the champ. Yeah. Anyways,
Goose, did you bring us something?
Oh yeah, I brought
yeah.
when I got my first Stam series order, this was the coolest disc I keep one disc for myself from every order,
As you should.
and this one's for you guys.
Oh, thanks.
You brought it
That's
for the
so
studio?
rad.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that'll.
Oh, Goose,
Yeah.
that's going up on the wall.
That's
Oh,
going on the wall.
That's
Absolutely.
sick.
it was the coolest disc of the 150 that I got in the first order, but there's going to be another order, so I'll steal
Brother.
something from that.
So there'll
one
be
for
another
myself.
cool.
Yeah.
And if there was any question, this guy's the best. This guy's is the best. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I think we'll wrap it up there. Rigdon, we look good on your end?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for watching. We're the Barely Stable Podcast. Follow us on social media, wherever you get your podcasts. We're up everywhere now.
Yeah, I think everywhere. You can get us on Spotify, Amazon, RSS feed on our website.
Your smart fridge.
Oh, yeah, you can watch
Yep.
it on the smart fridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're getting snacks late at night.
I saw someone was watching it on a hotel bathroom mirror the other day, which is very
How'd
cool.
you see that?
You know, weird FaceTime.
Okay.
All right. And thank you so much for watching. Again, we are the Barely Stable Podcast. Remember, just be cool.
Time, weather, and always glass. Case